just a quick announcement before the episode starts. These podcasts aren't going to be like a normal thing like last time. This is just going to be whenever I feel like it, I'll upload it. Mostly because I'm having a busier life in general and because I want to focus on the recorded as of right now. So that's the quick announcement. Also, if you want to be on this, just shoot me a quick DM of you wanting to do the podcast with me. I will warn you, I'm not the best person that DMs back. Uh, Very busy man, and I sometimes miss over some things. So if I don't respond to you, just say it again. I'll see it then. Also, if you want to do something with me on the podcast, this is just strictly Survivor community related stuff now. So sorry, Big Brother and the challenge and the game show community in general. Sorry, but yeah. Other than that, enjoy the podcast. Yo, 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 what's up, my boys, my girls, whoever the fuck's watching this? We're back again doing another The Hub interview. This time I'm with a very, very special guest. He decided to hit me up and was like, yo, let's do one. I was like, I bet. So I'm here with the one, the only Vision. How you doing, Vision?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing actually pretty good today. How about you, man?
I'm doing great. It's been a chill day, Friday, weekend type vibes. It's been pretty nice. But you asked me to come on here. Was not expecting that. So I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Let's just get this party started basically. So uh I asked this to everybody. What is the reasoning for you to join the Survivor community?
Um, so it was weird to be honest. First things first, obviously, randomly found out about Survivor. Watched my first season. I watched Token Teens, whatever season that is. And so I was like, you know what? I wanna play. So I just went around YouTube. I eventually came up with the idea to look up Minecraft Survivor, and there was a recorded Survivor up for applications, and I applied for it, and that happened to be Kyle's season 2.
Oh snap, that was
That's
your
all I
first
got.
one?
That was my first one.
So did you like how you played in that season? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember watching it. So, what was your experience like?
My experience was being first boot.
I really didn't watch it.
Hey man, trust me, it was. I'm sure it was a good season, but not for me. Not for me.
Okay, so after Kyle's, what was your next recorded that you did?
EliteChris' season 2.
Okay, now that I did watch. All right, so, I don't
Hmm.
exactly remember, but like I did definitely watch it. So let's we won't go into Chris's for now, but we'll go there later. So during Kyle's, you're like, hell yeah, first recorded, I'm gonna get this bread. So
Say,
why do you think you got the first boot, if you don't mind me asking?
um, you know what? There was definitely a mixture of things. The main one, I was 12 years old. I think, yeah, I think definitely being a squeaker in that situation, being incompetent in that situation did not help me out. So that was really the main reason. Another reason, though, would probably be because I was on a really bad computer. I was probably running 20 FPS at all times. So was not helpful to me.
Okay, so I have to ask this because you've been like, when was, do you remember when Kyle's season was? Like 2016, 17, somewhere around there?
My first season, season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that was probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I don't know.
So somewhere around there. So what do you think is like the most, like the biggest difference in the community nowadays compared to back then?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of pros and cons to the community now compared to back then. Uh, but the biggest difference would have to be um I feel like the community has evolved, and honestly, I honestly think we should all be proud. The community has grown a lot more than back then, at least to my knowledge. So I applaud the community for what it is today.
Okay. Do you think the community now is still growing, or do you feel like it's just like kind of hit a, you know, just a middle mark where it's like it's kind of growing, but it's like also there's not really too many new people joining, and it's like hit a plateau. Like, what's your opinion on that?
Um, See, I mean, this goes for every single community. I feel like we're right now like kind of hitting like we're getting a few new people here and there, but we're hitting that, roadblock. And I mean for it's for every single community. What you have to do is you have to step up and you have to expand the community whatever way means that whatever way is necessary. There's been a lot of people who've been able to do a good job with that, like these YouTubers who have recorded survivors. But I feel like out like the newer people, the people who play now today need to find ways to, if they want to expand the community, they need to find ways to do that themselves.
All right, all right. So now we can finally transition into Chris's if you want. But so basically, you go on to Chris's. Was it an easier process back then to get on recordeds, or is it basically the same?
It definitely was easier, 100%. I mean, I was a backup for Elite Chris's actually.
Hmm.
That's kind of sad to be honest. There was probably like it was what, a 14 player season? Yeah, it was a 14 player season. I can't imagine there was more than like 30 applicants. Something like that. There was probably not that many. But I was a backup and um, last second, I think the day of, I got a notification from Mr. Elite Chris, and he asked me to hop on, and so I did with no preparation, and I did it.
You know what? Fair. So
Mm.
gotta ask this as well. So you got, like you said, first boot in Kyle's. Um what made you want to play again? Because usually I feel like new people, when they get absolutely destroyed in games, they're like, you know what, I don't even want to do this no more. That was just stupid, and it was like, why? It was terrible experience. So what made you want to go again? Was it just the hunger to do well, or was it like, I just want to play again because why not?
Yeah, that's a great question. To be honest, I mean, I played poorly, obviously. I think just because I was so new to the whole Survivor thing, like I had probably watched only one season of actual Survivor at the time. I was just like invested, and like this was a big thing. I was, being a kid, you also have a lot more free time. You want to, obviously look more into this stuff, and so I did, and I just kept on playing, which, eh, some people are different, but kept on playing, and I guess that just is what made me want to keep playing. No.
Okay, all right, all right. So I'll ask a bit more about the recorded scenes, and then I'll transition into other stuff. So my next question for the recorded scene is, what was your favorite all-time recorded, if you can say, that you played in?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. My when it comes to recorded track records, um, what's it called? I have not been able to perform well. Um, and you know what? That's sad to be honest. I've been in a lot of recordeds, but I can't seem to perform well in a lot of them. But my favorite would have to be uh making a return to Kyle's season series, and his season 5. I returned. That was probably my favorite experience.
Okay. So we'll go away for the recorded scene for a bit. We might come back to it. I don't know yet. But so I don't think I was around during this time, because my whole story with the community is I was there since like the Skype days, and I just dipped for like a whole year and a half and came back. So I think around the year I dipped is where you might have started your own series of like your unrecorded stuff. So I wanted to ask, what made you want to like start unrecorded survivors and host those?
Um, Good question. I actually kind of have like a backstory behind this. And so there actually is a few people in the community now. I don't know if they would be watching this, probably not. But I mean, if you know, I think you might know who Noah is. Um,
Depends which
whatever.
Noah.
I think
Yeah.
they call themselves like NOSH, whatever. They're from the Big
Oh
Brother
yeah.
community.
I've heard
Anyways,
about.
yeah. So there's a few people in the community still around that would know this story, but and this is just basically the like after playing an EliteChris, is I obviously wanted to play more, and so I found this unrecorded Survivor host, one of the very first unrecorded Survivor hosts in the community. His name was Gankwe. Uh, and so he was hosting, and I played in a few, and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to give it a try, and I ended up actually giving it a try, and it was fun for me. And I was like, you know what? Playing is fun, but also you you should on it. In my opinion, if you want to, if you have the idea, like you want to host, but you don't really want to, go through all of that stuff, I still think you should go through the effort and give it a try, because I have had such a blast hosting unrecordeds and just game shows in general. So they're really fun. I
So
think you would
you.
know too.
Oh yeah, I definitely know. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I was about to ask you this actually was since you're on like season 28 question mark. Sorry if I don't know that, but somewhere around there, right?
I'm on All Stars right now, season 30.
Okay. 30. Okay, yeah. So you've Jesus hosted around 29 to almost 30 seasons now. So I was going to ask this was for people if they are watching that are like, "You know what? I'm going to do my own recorded. What is something that you would tell them would be like what you should do in preparation for your seasons and what you should not do in preparations for your seasons?" So that's what I want to ask for people that want to start their own, series. So what would you tell them?
To start off with what not to do, and this is something that I do, and it's very bad. So, and I mean, this is just going for anything. Do not procrastinate at all. I do that so much, and I mean, my seasons for the most part, they still turn out fine, but don't wait to the last minute to build all of your challenges, stuff like that. I do that a lot, and you know what? It doesn't really help me or benefit me. So that's really, don't do that. What you should do, and you know what? This is what this is what I always preach in the community. First of all, I just as humble as possible. I think genuinely, out of like my seasons have been probably the most well-rounded seasons. Like if you come to my season, there will not be like any fuck ups. It will be a good season. I'm not clowning on any of these guys' other seasons, but I really think my seasons do well, mainly because I don't take shit, bro. I don't let you guys like disrespect me. I make sure the season runs smooth. Like I want you guys to come in and play the game, and a lot of people kind of joke around, troll around, and that really kind of hurts the season because one, people don't take the host seriously. Um, I don't know. Have you ever felt like in one of your seasons, someone hasn't taken your Survivor seriously, or like,
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, but yeah, there's a few cases where that's just their whole like personality or persona, but they're actually trying,
yeah,
like Pepit. Sorry for shouting you out, Pepit, like that, but so but there's some people that like to troll, and then it gets under your skin. You're like, please just shut the fuck up. But you can't really say
yeah,
that because it just kind of ruins the vibe. So I mean, yeah,
I
there's
guess,
definitely people out there, but
yeah. And so I mean, I hope they. I mean, there's a time when you can joke around, but if you're talking over the host constantly, if you're doing
oh yeah,
that bullshit, that's not gonna slide.
yeah, no, it's it's just annoying in all the senses of that word. But I was gonna ask this as well because you were basically talking about it about the annoying people. As a host, there really is no way to deal with this, but what do you think is the best way to deal with pre-gaming?
The best way to deal with pre-gaming is that's, to be honest, a trick question because in this community, I mean, recordeds are a different story. I'm sure you could at least like attempt to get obviously a newer cast, but when it comes to unrecordeds, um, a lot of people play together constantly, and I mean, I'm obviously one of those people. I play constantly. Uh, there's not really any way to deal with it. The best way to deal with it is just to tell people straight up, like, don't come in here pre-gaming, come in here playing strictly from what the game is presenting itself. And I mean, and another way is you can really kind of judge them based on their performance. And I mean, just if they do it, then just don't invite them back. Don't cast them ever again.
True. That's a
So
fact.
consequences. Yeah, yeah.
So we'll transition now into the playing aspect of Survivor in this community instead of the hosting. We could go back to it, I don't know yet, but for now we're gonna go to the playing aspect. And I just wanted to ask you this: there's a lot of different personalities, players in this community, but based on your personal experiences, what do you think is the best aspect to have while playing in a recorded, unrecorded type, Survivor in Minecraft? What do you think it is? Do you think it's the physical game, the strategic game, or the social game? I just want to hear what do you think is the best one out of those three, not like say a mixture. I just want to hear what's your opinion on like the best one to have.
Uh, and what's it called? The best one, in my opinion, and I mean, I'm tired of people saying the wrong answer. It's not physical. I love you, NKS. It's not
Oh my
physical.
God.
He's gonna write an essay about that. But anyways, the best one is definitely, in my opinion, social. And for a simplified answer, this is a social experiment. There's this and what's it called? These strategical moves, these physical things. They are like branches of the game that make it obviously more evolved. But if you look at it from like a point of view, from this point of view, it is a social experiment, and it's the core of the game. It's the core of the game. You can play this game with just voting people out, if that makes sense. But they obviously evolved it so it's not as boring. So social's the answer.
Okay, all right. So, oh God, this is. You know what? I'll be the instigator here. Why do you not think the physical game is the best aspect to have?
Physical game is definitely impressive. Don't get me wrong, and I don't think anyone like yeah, just don't get me wrong. It's really great, but the thing is, and I'm gonna use NKS here as an example. Like I love you, NKS, but like I need to say this. I need to say this. And like I'm not, and this is also not discrediting him. I'm like I said, we've already talked it out. Like I'm not whatever, but I'm saying for anyone who comes in the game and wins every single merge immunity challenge with no social game, I'm talking about no social game. And I mean, they could try to have a social game or whatever, but if they don't like, I don't know, if it doesn't work out for them, whatever, and they win every single challenge and everyone's unhappy with them, or if they're disrespectful, or they're just like not getting their way or anyway, if they're strictly just winning immunity challenges, it takes away from the surviving aspect, the survivor aspect of the game. But I don't know. It's just my like I don't know. It's also another thing is, and the reason why I kind of hate on the physical portion of the game. I've been in this community a long time. Trust me, the community was so much different back then.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people in the community like they were not about that. They were I listen, a bunch of them can vouch. I'm sure Happy can vouch. It
Yeah.
was a different game back then. And I mean we were evolving, so you know what? I guess yeah, you can have a physical game now. I'm not saying you can't.
That's true. Some people might not agree with that, but in my eyes, it's true.
Yeah, for
so,
sure, for sure.
But
Oh God, you're
yeah,
gonna get hate comments about that.
I'm gonna get death threats. How dare you? No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
no, canceled. Canceled.
Canceled. Absolutely gonna get meta targeted now. No. So,
Shit.
um, I was gonna ask since you did bring it up about the older school of this community. So, we both have been in there. So, what do you think makes this community so much more like I don't know how to really phrase this, so much more competitive uh, today than it was back then? Because back then it was like friend groups, or like if you were friendly, you were the guy that was gonna win, basically that sort of deal.
Yeah.
So, like, why do you think it just completely changed into like a more competitive type realm?
Um, I feel like it's competitive based on just a few things. One, everyone here is understanding of the game. Uh, in the community in general, people take this as, for example, just use this as a metaphor. Like an NBA league or whatever. Watch NBA.
W.
It's like a game. It's like 10 different games a part of the season. Uh, you're gonna play one, and then you're gonna come with the same mindset. You're not gonna do the same thing over and over again. You're gonna try to switch it up. And a lot of people also want to, what's it called, prove themselves in a way. I don't really know how to explain it. They want to prove themselves, and I just see this community expanding in like skill all the time. Like I am kind of surprised, to be honest. I came back in this community calling the new players dog shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I called a lot of people dog shit. Whether that was my ego talking or whatever, I called a lot of people dog shit. And I still do, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of people have improved. So I think it's a little bit definitely more competitive.
Okay. So I actually just thought of this question while you were answering that is so I'm gonna keep it real with you. Big name, right? Yes, yes, all right. So coming into a game nowadays as oh, it's vision. Do you feel like it's demoralizing or like demotivating that people will just target you based on your name and not your play style, or do you feel like that actually like keeps you motivated to do better than these people and prove them wrong?
You know what? I choose the second one right there. Just because honestly, it's another thing that's kept me in the community. I I honestly think it's a challenge for me. It's definitely a challenge for me to, continuously, make these crazy moves and play really well. Because, first of all, when you play Survivor in real life, you're playing that once. So you can really go all out and not really have any. No one's really going to know who you are. No one's going to know your personality. And Survivor in the community here, it's a lot different because I've played with some of these guys over 10 times and they know how I work. They know how I play. So the fact that I can even make it the merge, get close to winning, I'm proud of that. I don't care what you say. I'm so proud of that. Um, so I think it's, it boosts my competitive spirit, and that's another thing. I'm really competitive. So take it what you will. It's only helping me out that you guys think of me that way.
You know what? That's a W opinion. So out of all the hundreds, maybe even thousands, I don't even want to go that far, games you've played, what type of challenge do you think is the absolute best in a season?
Um, I would probably have to say any challenge that has multiple parts to it, um, with a variety of different types of challenges in it, whether it's like parkour at the start and then like a puzzle at the end. Definitely it showcases a more variety of skill instead of one person just being better than everyone else at one specific thing. At least it really gives that variety. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you can do three things better, if you can do a puzzle, parkour, and like like what's it called, accuracy better than all of the other people, you should be proud and you deserve the victory over them.
Okay. All right. Let me give you a quick fun-ish scenario here. So, say, actually, now, would you rather go into a Survivor game where it's like all the big name, strong competitors, and everyone knows each other's games, so it's gonna be like pretty sweaty type of Survivor, or would you rather go into Survivor where you know absolutely nobody and nobody knows your game at all either? So it's kind of like an actual Survivor game, like in the community, not talking real Survivor wise, but in the community. Would you rather play with those people that you have no idea who they are and they have no idea who you are? Or would you rather play with like the usuals, like you have to actually try hard in this game to win it?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna choose playing with nobody that I know. It's kind of like a fresh start. I have a lot more room to work with. While as if I'm playing with people that know who I am, I feel enclosed in like a smaller space. But yeah, I would definitely choose that because I'm a very I wouldn't say manipulative person. I think I'm very I think I play very hard when it comes to playing in the games that I play in. So I guess people might not seem like I might be messaging everyone, uh, reaching out to them, making them think I'm their number one, making them think I'm not talking to anyone else. But I feel like people might, because that's one of the main things I do. If I'm being completely honest, I'm always talking to people, making them feel like I'm allied with them. When in reality, I'm not. I don't give a fuck about them.
All right.
The hard truth, man.
This will be the first time I ask this question because I haven't done like an interview since this happened in the community. Simple question here. The tier list of the community, yay or nay,
Oh, nay, 100% nay.
and
It,
why? Oh yeah, you go.
I, uh, what's it called? If I'm being completely honest, everyone loves their ego stroked. Who doesn't? I mean, I've literally gotten my ego stroked, especially from those tier lists. I've seen a lot of them, and I'm just like, I've tried to stay humble. But it's just not a good thing, just in general, because on one end, you can't really. I agree with people like Jerry. Jerry's come to me and talked to me saying how he doesn't think that's a good idea for the community. And it really isn't. Just any statistics, really, in general, all time rankings, tier list, whatever, because it really, on one end, it really makes people overthink. Uh, Overthink like why are they not good enough, like, and then they start like arguments. It really just does too much bad. I can't really explain it. It just does a lot more bad than good. And you know what, you just, if you want to know if you're good or not, just find out, play a game, win a survivor, that's simple. What do you think? Because I
Mm,
you might have a different opinion.
um, I will admit it does stroke the ego. I will admit that, but honestly, I gotta agree with you on that. It's kind of does more bad than good. Like, yes, it shows who's doing good in the community, blah blah blah, whatever. People's opinion starts arguments. It's just gonna happen naturally. But like, it's the fact that there's actually some people out there that take it very seriously, and they're like, oh my god, it's fucking Vision, or I don't know who's another Oxy or something like that. Oh my god, it's one of those people. They're an S tier player. Gotta target them now because they're that good in the game. Might as well. So it's like it kind of brings something else to the table for people to target you. But I don't know. It's kind of a difficult subject. But I would say it's more negative than positive overall. But that's my opinion. So people have their own different
Yeah.
opinions.
What's it called? And this is kind of like on the same level. I'm kind of bringing in Cass again, just real quick. I don't know if you saw like that whole llama peeing about it.
Oh,
To
I
be
did.
honest,
Yeah.
it's kind of childish. But that probably stimulates from the fact that people made tier lists on who's better and all of that, and that's another thing that's really not good. Like, one, probably made us look like clowns. Me and NKS combined, like we were trying to debate who's better, but in reality, it's probably people are probably frowning on that situation, probably thinking, well, why do they care so much, stuff like that, or people might be like they're not good enough, whatever. I'm better than them, stuff like that. So I don't think it was a good idea. So that's my add-on to that situation.
Yeah, which is honestly fair. But
Yeah.
that's our opinions. People might object to that, but that's our opinion. So it is what it is. Suck on that. So so basically, next question I wanted to ask you is about playing Survivor. It's what do you think is the best type of advantage to have on a season and why?
Best type advantage. I would probably have to say. I would probably have to say idols. Idols are the simple answer and the correct answer. What's it called? Idols obviously give the factor of, do they know that they're getting votes? Did they find out that they're getting votes? Do they have enough allies to back them to the point where they don't need to play an idol? There's so many reasons to play and to not play an idol that it adds a different level of thinking to the game, for both parties, both people who are getting idled out and people who are using the idol. So yeah, I'd have to say idols.
Yeah, simple answer, but I mean it's a good answer, so that's fair. Um, yeah. Next, I gotta ask this. So, what do you think makes recorded? Or sorry, I phrased that wrong. What do you think attracts people to only play recorded survivors compared to unrecorded survivors?
Um, well, for me, the fact is there's a lot of people, and this is for a lot of people. We don't have a lot of time. Like, I can't really speak because I've played so many survivors. It's unrealistic. Wasted so many time, so much time. But for a lot of people, they don't have this a crazy amount of time to constantly play in survivors. We're all growing up. We all got stuff to do. So they want to probably play in something that might be worth their time, whether it is maybe a cash prize or to just see themselves on a screen. Um, Recorded survivors also have more of a competitive level because you can play an unrecorded, but that won't be talked about as much compared to a recorded survivor. So yeah, recorded survivors have that more fierce competition, and also usually there's a lot of people that don't know each other, so that
Yeah,
is that.
that's why I like recordeds better, in my opinion, because you don't know too many people. So, I'm gonna ask this, but usually at the end I ask, "How do you feel about the community overall?" But
Yeah.
for now, we'll get into that later. But for now, I'm gonna ask, how do you think um, the community back then uh, was easier? Because I know people don't really realize that because they've joined like literally 2 years to a year ago or months ago in this community. So what makes you think, or not what makes you think, what makes you know that the community back then was so much easier compared to today's community?
Well, I want to say easier. With my knowledge, if I was like who I am today back then, I feel like I would have a better. I guess I would probably say it's easier, but just because since I was a
That's
younger
true. Yeah.
kid, not knowledgeable, I was shit, bro. I was a really bad player back then. If I'm being honest, we all start somewhere, but I mean it was easier in the sense of, there wasn't really a meta playing the game. It was kind of just well, for one, the challenges nowadays are actually really good compared to the challenges back then.
That's true.
Challenges back then were definitely less complex. So that I would also say, um, there wasn't a lot of people who are super competitive back then. They were kind of just the people who come to play casually, and that's fine. You can play casually. So yeah.
All right.
Did
All right.
you did you did you? I assume you said you played in Survivors back then. I guess
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
Skype or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Well, actually,
I'm
only once in Skype, but I was more like just typical 8-player type game shows that weren't Survivor. It was like if you did bad in a
yeah.
challenge, you're dead, basically.
Hmm.
But yeah, not Survivors. I wasn't in Survivor community, but Discord Survivor community wise, 2017, 20, probably early 2017 around that time, I think. But yeah. So what were you gonna ask me? Sorry.
Um, I was just gonna ask you because I thought this was pretty cool. First of all, you are cousins with Light.
Okay.
Are you?
You know what? I'm gonna do a spoiler here for a lot of people in this community. We are not cousins. It was just a troll. All right, there you go. That was a
Oh,
spoiler alert
really?
for people. Yeah, no, complete
That's
lie.
Is this the first
It's-
time that you're telling that
in public,
to
yes,
people
I've
now?
told some people in private.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, but no, that was a whole facade. That was just really funny to see how people would believe it.
I mean, people clearly fell for it. I did.
Yeah,
Are you guys like good friends? Is that why you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
became?
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm gonna say this now. What's it called? First of all, when I was talking about some newer players being good, well, I mean, obviously, I guess you're not new, but new to Survivor since you didn't play back then. You and Light, honestly impressed me. To be honest with you, you're two people who are not a lot of people look on as good player. Like, well, you guys are underrated. I'll say this. You guys aren't really in the limelight yet, and I honestly respect both of your guys' games. I've seen you guys happy. You won like what, three survivors and one, like I don't know if it's llamas or tunics, whatever. Uh yeah, you and Light have been honestly impressing me, and it's good to know that there are people like this that will be probably in the community like a year or two from now, like yourself. Like you guys are good, and it shows that there's not going to be game bots. You guys can go on and you know uh, what's it called, mentor future survivor players, because I don't know, I'm impressed, to be honest.
I
uh
appreciate that.
the question is, sorry, I didn't really ask a question there. uh do you How do you feel about your experience in the community, and how has it evolved since you first started? And I'm
Oh
talking about
Christ.
I'm talking about like, well, not skill, but I guess your journey. Were you a bad player in the beginning? Do you think you're a good player now? What's your thoughts?
Okay. Uh, I'll go into like a, I guess, quick type of deal because there's a lot to talk about with that. But
Hmm.
uh, just straight up join the community. Um, say I joined through a stream of Oxys, I believe,
Hmm.
and I won that. It was my first win, and it was like my first ever Survivor, and I won it. I was like, "Oh shit, this is kind of fun."
Yeah.
And then that's how I got more involved. But I mean, back then, in my opinion, so much more easier to win. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it was either the person that won was the most likable, or just the person that knew how to play the best between everybody that was there. So it was like it was either that or the likable person. And nowadays, it can be legit anyone. So I mean, that's my opinion, but it depends on like how you view that. But there you go for that at least. And then after that, I was like, you know what, Minecraft, it's all right. Been in a few recorders, unrecorded. It's all right. I wanted to go into a new type of deal, and I hosted some Discord orgs for Survivor for a bit. That was a fun deal. That's where I met some of my friends now, which is, I mean, you don't know who this is, but there's Eclipse. I met Cord Kager there.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a whole another story with that. It's like basically, okay, the gist of that is that he played in my orgs before he played in Chris's, and he did the whole cult
Okay.
strategy there, and it actually worked. So,
What the fuck?
it actually worked, and it got his squad to merge, and it was like he actually became like a mafia boss. So I'm guessing that's why he was like, you
What?
know what, do that shit in Chris's, yes sir.
What in
Obviously,
the parallel universe? What the fuck?
yeah, I have
That's
screenshots and everything. I can send them, but like, yeah, it worked out in the org, and I'm guessing he saw Chris's, signed up, and was like, "Yes, sir, that's what's up, baby." And I mean, obviously, it didn't work, but he made it far
uh
anyway. So, like, yeah, that's the story for that. Not a lot of people know that, but
did
yeah.
you when it was airing, did you just I assume you were rooting for Korkega? You're like, this guy's just so
Uh,
good.
so yeah, about that was actually I got burnt out for survivors, so I literally just quit the community, quit Discord, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time where I quit was when Chris started uploading that season. So I had
Mm.
zero idea that that man was in the season or that a new season was out. So I had zero idea about it. And then I joined later and I just find out he's on that and I'm like, what the hell? What he has an
Shit.
Elmo skin in Minecraft? What is this? Because
What have
I'm
I
used to having
created?
a Kim Jong Un thing, like his profile picture is
What?
Kim Jong Un.
Wait, I remember that. Yes.
So
Oh
like
my
I was
lord.
like, what's going on? He's a freaking Elmo and he's screaming super loud. I'm like, what is happening? And then people are like, oh my god, it's Corky. I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, yeah, sure, all right. So it was like it was different because I wasn't rooting for him because I had no idea he was in the freaking season in the first place. But I watched it, in the future, and I was of course rooting for my boy. So like, I guess in a
Yeah.
sense I was, but not when it was coming out. Like I had no idea. But yeah, another interesting story there. But I'll talk about when I officially came back, like for good in this community was December 2020. So I think, I don't know, whenever Oxy's 8 or his season 8 was recorded is when I came back because he Snapchatted me and he was like, hey, yo, Happy, doing a season 8 and I need a returnee. I'm like, shit, bet. So
Ooh.
I came in. Yeah, did pretty okay in my opinion. It's just I got screwed. And then from there, I met some of the boys I know now. I'll give them shout outs like Danny, Brian, Light now, some of those
Mm.
people. Met them, started to grow in this community, started to play more, started to play in unrecordeds, meet those kind of people there. Um, thought, more competitive nowadays, but that made me evolve into uh, a better player in my opinion. So I kept on winning because people are like, look at this Happy guy, like my skin is fucking stupid. And I suck at challenges, so they're like, we don't gotta worry about him. And yeah, there you go. I just kept
Oh
on winning like
no.
that. But
Oh no.
it is what it is. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Might as well, calm down on the unrecordeds. Don't want to get my name too out there because you just get targeted. So I was like, yeah, it is what it is. Um,
Don't want to flex on them, huh? You want to
then
don't want to
didn't want
show
to
them
be
your
that
true
guy.
potential, man. Hey,
Didn't want to be that guy. No, but
you're the top G of this community, clearly.
and I'm the unknown G for real. But
What's
after
it called?
that,
Did you? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
nah,
What
you're Gucci.
you played in? Did you play in Laya? I don't know what it's called. I
No,
haven't really
I
watched
was
Oxys.
the one before that.
Is that the one where Big D was in it?
No, that's the one before. Nah, Big
Ah,
D is a whole another legend on her own, but
true, true.
it's very much facts. But yeah, I
Continue.
recorded.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. And then I went to recordeds, played in a bunch of recordeds. Was like, you know what? Screw this. Well, not screw this, but I was like, you know what? Let's ball out. Started my own recorded, and now it's currently being uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, we're here now. Vision DM'd me, blah blah blah. We're doing interviews. So yeah, There's a lot more to that story, but I didn't want to go on a full tangent, like kind of like I did. But yeah, there you go. That's my story, quote unquote.
Good way to start it off. Yeah, I've seen that you uploaded 3 episodes. I watched the first one. I have not gone to
Yeah,
other ones, but I'm honestly, like I said, this community needs more recorded hosts and respect it, man. Respect it.
respect the hustle, respect the grind.
Actually,
So
you were invited to my season, never showed up.
my B. So I was actually gonna ask this since you well, since I kind of brought up my season, I was gonna ask about your season of what made you like want to start your unrecorded, because I have no idea if you wanted to do that back in the day and just like didn't do it, or like you tried to start it and it just didn't work out. Like, was this your first time trying to start a recorded?
No, it was not. I actually I had a recorded season 1 a long time ago before I had a good computer, which when you have a
Oh
bad
no.
computer, yeah, you have a bad computer, you have bad quality. Short stories short, I only uploaded 1 episode still on my channel to this day. I'll just tell you guys who won. Mr. Echo Master 22 actually won that season.
Oh,
So, yeah, it was a fun season. Obviously back in the community the challenges weren't good. The whole thing wasn't really that good, to be honest. Wouldn't have been entertaining. So this is not my first time, but this is my second time, and I'm proud to say that it was successful.
hey, that's a W. I mean, at least it was successful. Can't say that for most people out there.
Hmm.
But so I was gonna ask this: what made you want to start the recorded again?
uh I wanna, branch off. Another, like, I don't know. It kind of really it correlates into the fact that I've always wanted to be like a content creator, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So that kind of works well with that. And seeing all these recordeds, like they're high quality stuff like that. I want to be able to reciprocate that, and do have my own little like thing going.
And if it works, it works.
For sure. I could be EliteChris 36 and no one would even know it. Like, I'm telling you, hey man, you're talking to him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm talking to the elite Chris 36. Oh my god. Oh Christ. Okay. So I'll ask one more question about your recorded. So without giving too much, how'd you like it?
Oh, it's a spicy season. I'm being honest with you. It's a spicy season. Literally, I'm pretty sure every round was extremely entertaining.
And
Extreme.
that's huge W.
Huge W for season 1. Season 1s are
Oh
they're
yeah.
always like mediocre. They're not the greatest, obviously, because no one wants to like go crazy on like twist stuff like that. I don't think I went crazy on twist. Had a baller cast, and these people also came to not only play but to perform. And that's one of the big factors you need in like a cast. You need a cast that wants to perform, and I think the cast came out and performed.
There you go, Shillin' Cool. There you go.
Hey,
So
he was production too, so I'm sure
oh,
he
never mind. There you go, someone out there that's listening. There you go.
shit.
All right. So, in the sense of the community nowadays, who do you believe is rising to the top of like becoming a great player in this community?
Um, that's a good question. There are quite a few people. Um, just because I don't really want to give too much reasoning, I'll just keep it short and sweet. I'll say a few people. Anton's been in this community for a while, but I still think he's a rising star. He's really gifted. I think it was to the point where I think he played literally like I don't remember, but I think he played like 3 survivors like in the span of a weekend. and won every single one of them. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that in my life. So I think that's just incredible as it is. Another person, I actually have been playing with them a lot. Joma, I think he has the opportunities to get there. He's good. I'm gonna say you and Light, you guys are just underrated. I mean, you guys are proving yourselves by the second, winning all these seasons, and it's for a reason. Then obviously you got Pepit. A final person, Pepit is good. Everyone knows who Pepit is. Final person. Hmm. I'm gonna I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say Pi. I'm gonna say BA Awesome. I think he's someone who I see a lot of myself in. I think he's someone who can definitely take the torch.
All right. I know Pi a bit. I think Pi played in one of my unrecordeds and won, so I agree with that. So I have two more questions about the people in the community. One is, who do you think are the goats of this community?
Trying to get me canceled, Happy. To be honest, I've been in this community for 6 years, and I've been in some beef and arguments, but I don't know how I haven't been canceled yet. Shit, man. But goats. You're talking about goats as in like bad
Greatest
players?
of all time, not like
Okay.
no.
Okay, I was about to go on a like.
I forgot this is the Survivor community. We can't say goats. It's like the sheep going to the end or something like
Yeah,
that.
I
My bad.
know. I mean, shit. If you were talking about trash players, you'd probably have to say like someone like who's fucking Havoc. Trash. No, I'm joking. But
In words, ghetto.
love you, Havoc. Ghetto player. Holy crap. But greatest of all time. I think it would have to be, first of all, going into, like I said, social players. Some of these guys have just the track records. Talking people that have been recorded, it's like Jerry and Infernox. There is also there's also a few people that are like, for example, I'm gonna say this guy Pahi. You might not know who Pahi
Yeah,
is.
I know who he is.
Oh,
He's the
you
pink
do?
guy,
Okay.
right?
Yes, he is. He actually
Yeah.
he won. He was the first two-time winner in my series. He didn't really play much Survivors, so a lot of people don't really know him. But he was really good. I think near the end he started like kind of going downhill. But everyone does. Everyone has a fall off era. But anyways, yeah. So I thought he was pretty good. So those three, um, greatest of all time. I mean, and now right now in this community right now, if I'm not saying myself because I'm egotistical, I'll give it to fucking NKS. He's proven a lot of people wrong, and I'm gonna stroke his ego a little bit, and I'm fucking tired. First of all, I hope he fucking somehow he needs to stop with the ego, man. But he is a really good player. He is a really good player. It's impressive how he can win every single challenge. I'll give him that.
It'd be really funny if you like saw the stuff you said before this. He's like, "What the fuck," and then just never watches this part.
Writes an essay, starts clowning on me.
Yeah,
Oh god.
it'd be
Oh
really
dude,
really funny. But
a big
okay,
headache.
so I'll go a little bit off topic. What happened to Pahi? Because I remember he was actually kind of good. I mean, not kind of, but he was pretty good at the game. But I forgot why he just left.
I mean, why you leave? Like everyone leaves because they're
Yeah.
growing up. They don't have time. I assume that's probably why Pai left. He's tired of he doesn't want to play anymore. Doesn't he? Maybe he fulfilled his needs. He won a couple times, and you know what? That's all he really needed. I mean, that's for other people. They just grow up. They become adults, and that's how it is.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. All right, I'll do one more question about the people in this community, and then I'll wrap it up with the last three that I always do. So, last question for about the people in this community is: who do you think? This might be some heat here, but who do you think is overrated in this community?
Overrated? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I am getting canceled. Uh, um, overrated. Ooh, let me think about this. I'm ready to start some drama. I don't care. Uh, overrated. Mm, I'm gonna say. Uh,
Looking for someone
I
that
mean,
doesn't have beef.
I'm about to just go to like llama's like rankings. Like,
Uh-oh.
let me just see. I can't really name anyone off the top of my head, but let me look.
Oh no.
Let me look. Overrated. Uh, I'm gonna say. I mean, shoot. To be honest, and this is no disrespect, Joker's gonna come from my head saying this, but it's. Let me explain myself. Joker, and this is in no disrespect. And uh, not a lot of people obviously know like you. I don't know if you want a survivor yet. That's what I'm gonna say. Another person. Okay. Joker, that's not even like a real answer. Joker's new to the community. He has a chance. And it's crazy. He should feel like proud that people actually think he's a really good player for his thing, but he's new to the community. I feel like he has a lot to improve on. And yeah. But the person I want to fucking say is fucking Oxy, bro. Dude, no fucking way. Oxy. And you know what? I'm gonna say it too. Slinger. Oxy and Slinger,
Oh.
back in my day, back when I was starting out in the community, going head to fucking head with them, defeating fucking online fucking e-daters and shit, dude, I was literally
Oh no.
shitting on them, bro. Yes, yes, bro. Dude, they have nothing on me. They are literally the most. The reason why I'm saying this about Oxy and Slinger is they're really liked in the community. That's not a bad thing. But they won because people like them so much. I've seen Slinger win survivors and like he's done absolutely dog shit. But I mean, like I said, everyone has a fall down. I mean, obviously he had a time. But what I'm trying to say is yeah, he had like a friend group behind him. Same with Oxy. I feel like people just back him and I don't know. I haven't seen anything impressive from him.
There you go. There's the take. There's the take. I totally forgot about Slinger too, and he just brought this up. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I do remember literally what you're saying. I remember all of that. So
Yeah. I think he won
oh,
like I don't I didn't play in any of them or at least to my knowledge I didn't, but I just like I know in Killers like seasons like when he was hosting Big Brothers like in Survivors too, but like he won like 4 of them. But that was because he had a fucking a fangirl right next to him, Jaden, whatever her name is. I don't even remember because she's so irrelevant now. But yeah, just a lot of fan fucking boys and shit. Shit was so annoying to play with, and like, I still held my ground. So, yeah.
yeah, he did years into the future. um. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up. I'm gonna ask what I usually ask at the end of these, and then at the end of it. So my question to you to wrap this up is: what are your feelings right now, like in the community today, September the 16th of this recording? How do you feel about the community as a whole?
Uh, I think the community is good. I think it has hopefully a long time standing. I hope the people nowadays can keep the community standing a year from now. I mean, shit, bro, you guys might this new generation might honestly fuck it up, and we might have a dead community in a year from now, which would be terrible. So I hope not. I've enjoyed my time in the community. I've been here for 6 years, but like I said, everyone grows up, and I find myself, and I've taken long breaks, but I find myself departing from the community every a little bit every single day, and I can't really promise that I will be here in 6 months. I'm not trying to make this sound like a little sad, whatever, goodbye, because honestly, I could care less about half the people in this community. We all have our lives to live. This is something that we do as a hobby, whether we like it or not. You fucking got, like, I really hope you guys understand that you're not going to be thinking about these survivors. At least most of you guys are not going to be thinking about these survivors in 20 years from now. So, you know, uh, I obviously will be. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. When I first started playing in the community, I was like 12 or 13. I'm 19 years old right now. I want you guys to put that into perspective. That's gonna be one of you guys one day. There are little kids right now playing in this community that will be 19 years old one day, 20 years old. They'll want to leave. So, yeah.
Dang, that just made me feel kind of old, and I'm only 19 too. Oh my god.
Oh shit, man.
Man, I just realized we had a similar story of starting when we were like 12, 13. Oh my god. All right.
That's what a lot of people do too. It's crazy.
Yeah. So next question, which you were basically about to get into was what are your future plans for the community right now?
Oh, so I've been wanting to end off my unrecorded series. I actually reached out to the cast I want to pick for my unrecorded series. Great cast, amazing. I've never had a cash prize, but I'm gonna have a cash prize this time. I might even just fucking fuck around and make it like a $300 cash prize for the winner. I don't fucking know yet. But yeah, I wanted it to be season 35, but honestly, I think it might just be season 30. I might end it off there. I'm too busy to be spending too much time on that stuff, and I'm not doing anything productive if I'm playing as survivors. If I'm being honest. Other than that, I'm gonna edit my recorded survivor, and you know what? It could take me a while. It could take me only a few months. Just everyone works at a different pace. Work on that and see where life takes me.
Yeah, there you go. And last thing is this is part of the interview where I give the person that I'm interviewing the time to talk about literally anything they want. So this is the part where I literally just mute in the call and you can just rant or talk about anything in the community that you want. So this time is yours. You can go whenever.
All right, I'm gonna take this time to start name calling people. And shit, if you hear someone's name, send this to them, and I want them to hear my words. Cause I could care less. I'm gonna start with someone that I see on my screen at the moment. I'm gonna start with Kenzinator 9000 or whatever the fuck his last numbers are. Ken, be honest with you. You're a young kid. In this community. Uh, honestly, you are someone who has flourished, and a lot of people have not seen that. But you're not a bad player in my books. You know what? You're kind of weird though, if I'm being honest. I love you though. I'm joking. Deadass, no hate. But Ken, I think you just messaged me something about getting no bitches, and I think it was Aries or whatever, some random kid that just joined the community talking about me getting no bitches, and that's a funny thought. It's a funny thought. I'm gonna let that sit with them. Moving on, just random people. Uh, fucking loops. I wanna be impressed by you one day. People are kind of hyping you up to being one of the future goats of the community, greatest of all time. So I'm expecting big things from you. Rylan, you're weird. To be honest with you, yeah, you're just weird, and I'm being so genuine about that. With a straight face, no cap. Uh, yeah, best survivors to play in Killer Meme Star. If you ever play in his is probably one of the best. Llamas and Tunics are surprising me. They're actually really good. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. This is just rambling. I'm proud of my time in the community. I have a big ego, but I want to just say that you guys are fucking dog shit for letting me climb the ranks of being one of the best players. I don't think I'm the best player in the community. Let me say that right now. I don't think I'm the best player in the community. But if we're talking about all time in this community, I am easily in the top 25 Survivor players. I will say that. I have to be. There's no way you guys cannot consider. Let me know in DMs if y'all don't think, if you think I could be considered in the top 25. If not, I want to hear your thoughts, but I think so. I'm proud of what I have, and that's the only really ego side of me I want to come out. I'm gonna try to stay humble and shut the fuck up and not get any more arguments with NCAS. So yeah, that was it. Thank you for having me. Happy, love you, man.
Appreciate it. And with that, the interview is done. So I said this in the last interview. If you want to do one, straight up DM me. I'll try to answer back as fast as I can. I'm a pretty busy person in the real world. I know, shocking. And yeah, I'll try to get back to you. We can do this like I'm doing with Vision and the others in the past. Like I said before, I'm strictly doing Survivor interviews now. So if you want to do a Big Brother one, well, too bad. So, so yeah, thank you again, Vision, for coming on. I appreciate this interview. It was fun to learn about actually a lot of stuff about this community, and yeah, wish you good luck in your recorded and your future endeavors. So yeah, peace out, everybody.
Adios.